You got a flash on. I don't know if you want that on or not. Drain your battery.
Okay.
There you go. Hi, I'm Alex. Just inspected your condo. We'll start here in the bathroom. So here in the bathroom, a couple things. One, you want this tub to be on a GFCI protected circuit, so that's the outlets that have the test reset button. So when I had this filled up operating, I tripped that, and this was still operating. So it's not on that circuit. A lot of times in homes, they'll have a circuit on a wall that's connected to it, but I didn't see one anywhere. Or sometimes in the panel, there'll be a breaker that's a GFCI breaker. We don't have that. And so also you don't have an access panel to get in here to see the pump, the jets, the supply piping for it, or if there's actually a GFCI outlet underneath. So I can't confirm that. What those outlets do is they prevent deadly shock around sources of water. So if there's any type of short or malfunction, you want that to trip so you don't get electrocuted. So I can't confirm that we have that. We might have to cut into the finished surface to evaluate the circuitry, see if there's an outlet behind there, but that outlet's supposed to be readily accessible. So anyways, from what I can see, it looks like we're lacking that. I did have this filled up. Had it filled up, operated it, didn't have any concerns with the operation of it. As far as cycling, and it looked like it was pretty clean, like it wasn't all gunked up in the jets or the pipes or hoses. Any little grout maintenance on the tile. Here in the sink, the drain for the sink. The drain exits the sink and runs that way. It runs uphill. After the sink is supposed to run downhill a little bit because water flows by gravity. And so what that could do is it could hold a lot of debris, hair, and it could promote clogging. Now whenever I filled this up and drained it, it drained really good, so I didn't have any concerns with it drain. So right now it's not a concern, but if you have some issues in the future, you might have to reconfigure the plumbing a little bit to get it pitched downhill. Other than that, didn't really have any other concerns in this bathroom.
In the breaker box? Are you coming
Yeah,
back to that?
We can talk about that right now.
Okay.
So I took the lid off. All the breakers are properly sized for the circuits. We have single connections and all the wiring. One thing that we don't have in here, which is probably somewhere else in the building, is a main disconnect. And so usually in these big condos, they'll have that outside, so if there's like a fire, the fire department can come and flip everything off at once. And so it's probably somewhere else in the unit. So if you need to shut off power of the house, you either gotta turn off all these breakers or to find the main disconnect somewhere. Other than that, everything else in the panel looked really good. In our laundry, didn't really have any concerns there. Now, I'm not exactly sure where the dryer vent goes. So it looks like it goes up this wall, up that way possibly, or I'm sorry, it goes up this wall. It goes up here, so it probably goes through a chase to the outside somewhere. We want to make sure it stays clean, so I don't know if that's something that the HOA takes care of, or if you can have them do it or not, but we don't know if it's been cleaned or if it's obstructed or anything. Other than that, I don't have any other concerns in the laundry area. Here in our utility room, our water heater, the manufacture date's 1998. So typical life on a water heater is 6 to 10 years. So you're, beyond its expected life, but it's still functioning. I don't really have any concerns with it. I was looking around the seams, around the bottom of the water heater, around the cover panels for any types of indications of leakage. I didn't have any indications of leakage of the actual tank. So it's one of those things that could last you another year. It could last you another 10 years. Up top where the water comes in, we have some corrosion at this connection, so that could be a leak concern. So our water pipes throughout the house are copper, but coming out of the water heater we have these galvanized pipes, which is very standard for water heaters. That metal can rust, and so it's starting to rust right there. Right now it's not leaking, but that can be a leak concern. So it'd be a pretty easy fix for a plumber to come in and reconfigure that to get a new fitting right there, so we don't have that corrosion. Right above here is our main water shutoff. So if we need to shut off water to the unit, that yellow handle will shut it off. Well, I assume it's going to shut it off. That looks to be the main water shutoff. Our heating and cooling system, manufacture date on all that's 1997. So the seller, he was able to get me up onto the roof, and we looked at your air conditioner unit up there, and we looked at your furnace as well. And so typical life on the air conditioner unit is 15 years, so you're beyond its expected life, and on your furnace and fan, typically 25-30. So you're getting towards the end of its expected life as well. Now, it's a little too cold for me to test the air conditioner. Every inspector is going to say that. Anything below 65 degrees for more than 24 hours, we can't really test the AC. But the unit upstairs, needs a little bit of maintenance. So what typically happens is it has a bunch of fins and air passes through those fins and helps take the heat away from the refrigerant that's in the coils behind those fins. And so, like, if hail or if mechanical abrasion gets up on it, it bends those fins and you don't get enough airflow over it. So there's some bent fins on the refrigerant line. Like, you have this refrigerant line that goes all the way up to that unit up on the roof. Some of it's damaged up there, and that can affect its efficiency. So a little bit of maintenance that you can have those fins straightened out. You can get new insulation for really inexpensive, put on those refrigerant lines up there, and it can help improve its efficiency. According to the data label on the units, it has R22 refrigerant, which was phased out by the EPA at the beginning of this year. So if there's any leak in this refrigerant system or that coil, it's going to be more expensive to service because the only refrigerant that's available is new old stock. So just know that you have some older equipment. If you're getting a home warranty and something were to happen, usually they'll cover for that upgrade because it entails replacing the entire systems pretty much. So, but right now I don't have any concerns with it. Whenever I turned the thermostat up, called for heat, it functioned, responded, had a good temperature rise out of the vents. Down here's where our filter goes. And so he has it kind of taped in there with some duct tape because I think the filter is a little bigger than what goes there, but that's fine. We just want to make sure it covers that whole area because right here in this door is where all the return, all the cooler or warm air passes through here, and then the unit treats it. So we just want to make sure we keep that filter changed regularly to keep the interior of the unit clean. And so if we get a lot of dirt debris inside here, it's going to cause a restriction, and it's going to work harder to heat or cool the house. So like I said, no concerns other than it's just older equipment. Top of the bathroom. In our kitchen. So I touched your appliances for basic operation. So I'm washing the dishes, warming up a cup of water in the microwave. I had the stovetop oven on. The refrigerator had, iced items, cold items in it. The water dispenser worked on there. Let's see here. One potential concern is this light. It's not on the GFCI protected circuit, it's right here, so we have this electrical right next to this water source. And so right here you have an outlet with the test reset button, GFCI, and so all these outlets are protected by these two with the test reset button. Depending on how this is wired, it's probably wired off this outlet. You could probably reconfigure it to get this to where it would trip the outlet if there was some type of fault. Let me see what else do we have in here. This Lazy Susan needs a little bit of maintenance. Well, it did. Catching it earlier, but now it seems to be fine. Let's see, windows. Didn't have screens on the windows.
They can't.
And then over here, this outlet on the floor tested reverse polarity, meaning that the wires are switched on the back of the outlet. And so it still operates whenever you plug into it, but it's a potential shock hazard. So it's as simple as just pulling it up and swapping the wires in the back of the outlet. All the other outlets I was able to access and test were correctly configured. Let's see, so we've talked heating, cooling, we've talked plumbing, we've talked electrical, we've talked some interior aspects. Bedroom, I didn't really have any concerns. Closet didn't have anything. That's about it.
Okay.
So,
All right.